Hey everyone, Yajao here. Today, Savage Sword of Conan number 8 by Patrick Zircher and Jim Zub. It's pretty good, but I can learn to zub it. I know guys, I'm really punny. Number 8, we reviewed number 7. Man, it seems like forever ago, but I guess it was only about a month. So, first I'd just like to point out this. This is what a lot of modern comics need. It gives me a paragraph. Let's read this here. Short of money in the city of Shadizar, Conan took a job as a bodyguard to the merchant Murades, heavily indebted to the gambling hall, blah, blah, blah. Settled dispute, set down a high-stakes game of Serpent's Bluff in an attempt to clear his ledger. A couple of hands in, he mysteriously drops dead. With his patron deceased, Conan found himself forced to cover the debt or be subject to death by the beast in the debtor's lounge. Outnumbered and surrounded, Conan sat down to try his luck at the card game, while keeping an eye towards uncovering who or what killed Murades. Okay, look at this. One paragraph. Now, there's some other comics that I gave a little grief to that only had like 2 sentences because they had a little bit of room up here on the top of page 1. And they try to cram it on in there. No, this one paragraph. I know who's who. I know what's what. I don't have to have read the previous story. Bam, I could be in it. Let's get in it to win it. Okay, then the story. So, we start out, Conan is gambling. And it's not exactly the most exciting. There's a lot of just, I don't know, these 2 shots and action, reaction. It's a little okay at the beginning. But pretty soon we're getting into something better. So it ends up, to make a long story short, Conan wins. And the guy he's playing against, of course, is like, no. Give me one more chance. I bet all of my money anywhere ever. And Conan's like, cool. I'll gamble you for that. And of course Conan loses because, like a doofus, this game is rigged. Now, in some of the depictions of Conan, he has been very pro-gambling, just like he's very pro-whoring and pro-eating himself stupid. But in this one, it seems like he does not like gambling, but somehow he's super good at it. But let's move on a couple of seconds here. Blah, blah, blah. Skip. More gambling. Skip. Bam! Here we go. Still a little bit, I don't know, like, in general, I like Patrick Zircher. He's not bad. But there's just too much, like, boring. You know, you get a little bit more interesting a shot. You move the camera a little bit here and here. But even these are just like, eh. Like, I don't know. I want something a little bit more dramatic and impactful. And luckily enough, boom, we got it. So, of course, they're like, dude, of course we're not going to let you take any of the money you quote-unquote won. We're going to kill you and just take all that money. So Conan, as Conan is wont to do, just decides, F it, I'm going to murder everybody. So that's what he tries to do. There's, I don't know, depending on the pictures you're looking at, there could be anywhere between 10 and 50 bad guys. So Conan's out here. I like this drawing in general, although it's a little wonky, because I think the head is sort of down a little bit, which means this body should be rotated a little bit and foreshortened, which actually make it look a little better. But the body is slightly rotated like left to right instead of front to back. So the head is down, but the body's straight, which makes it look weird. I don't know, it's kind of looking even weirder on the phone here. But then we get into some more nice stuff. Great pose. Boom! Lots of action. Great job, Patrick Zircher. I would have gone with more pee in my pants look, although this is pretty nice. And this is beautiful. Let's talk about this. Head, you can see just a little bit around the edges, but mostly it's black and white. You don't need a background. And speaking of background, let's talk about that for a second. So we've got enough background shots drawing the wall there, and we start to drop them out. So it's not an establishing shot exactly, but we know where Conan is in relationship to everything. We've got the table down here, the walls are back here, there's a brazier, however you pronounce it, right there. So we kind of know where he is. So we have here, I guess we have a couple stones, sorry about the reflection, but most of this doesn't have background. We got the brazier, but once we start getting here, it's going to drop out the backgrounds. Bam! Nice action shot, bending down, swiping with that sword. Slightly awkward. I mean, unless he hit him. Slightly awkward of the sword strike unless he hit him with the butt of the sword. Why? Because the sword should be more up this way instead of rotating it. You're like, I don't know. It doesn't work. Patrick Zircher is not a guy who plays with swords. We'll put it that way. But no background, little bit of background, kind of reminds us where we are, and then back to lots of background. So the point of all this background, no background stuff is when you're drawing your comic, there are a lot of places where you don't need to spend the time and draw the background that heavily. Like, where were we? Okay, I guess the table's there. Table, brazier, you don't need a whole lot else. In these shots, you don't need any background at all. We know where he is in relationship to it. We get green crystal. That doesn't really have a background. It's very weird. There are almost flat colors here, too. Almost like a different style of coloring. But, here we have more detailed women in cages and bikinis. Lots of guys. So now that we know where the women in cages are, we can come back here where I guess there's a little bit of background, but they don't spend much time on it. It's not colored very specifically. So Conan's fighting along. Spear to the chest. Now it looks like could be the lat, could be serratus interior. But he's got a little bit of a weakness. It's going to make it hard to move his, that's his left side, so it shouldn't even be his sword arm. I don't know what's up with that. But anyways, he starts losing. Blah, blah, blah. And they say, oh, you're going to the debtor's lounge now, buddy. They throw him his sword. And they're like, well, your sword's not going to help you against the beast. And I don't know what that is. Giant werewolf, giant bear. Who's to say? But, man, this is how you end an issue. Like, in all seriousness, guys. This is what you want. We've got a big old thing, teeny little Conan, and you have the sense of, holy crap, how is Conan going to make his way out of this? I have no idea. I better tune in for issue 8. So the story in this one isn't so complex. To be honest, not a whole lot happens. Gambling. Conan discovers he's been betrayed, so he fights. We'll give fight like a 2 and 3. Loses the fight, gets thrown into the debtor's lounge, and then that's it. So, not a whole lot. One thing I would like to point out, too. There's a lot of text. I would say most of it is unnecessary, because if you look at a lot of the a lot of the fighting. It really tells the story itself. I mean, what you really need are sound effects. Like, you know, here, instead of one mistake, like, shook. You know, try to get the sound of a knife through flesh. And yes, I know this is Spirit on enough. But overall, pretty good story. I'm still liking it. I'm going to turn in for the next one. I think it might be the last Zub edition. We'll have to see. And at the end, Shadow of Vengeance. Very nice. Conan on a ship. Surprise, surprise. He gets betrayed. So thanks for watching. If you like Conan, or even if you don't like Conan, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you soon.